Hi everybody, Army P here for eXplorminate, and welcome to my ongoing Let's Play of Surviving Mars. So, if you remember from our last episode, we had established the three of our most basic needs. We've got water, we've got energy, we've got concrete. Unfortunately, we don't have metal. And I was taking a look at our map, as you can see here, as we've scanned our area. The only available underground metals we have was way over past this ravine of water. I mean, this used to be a swimming pool. If there was ever Martians, that's where they used to chill. Obviously, that is way too far for us to, under this current resources, to kind of move our first dome way over there when all of our resources are built here. So what I've decided to do is we're going to utilize these underground rare metals instead, and then supplement by selling these rare metals by asking for metals from Earth. Not the most ideal situation, but in surviving Mars, you must do what you have to do. So if you remember, we have been creating fuel for our eXplorminator rocket ship. It is now teeming with fuel, so we're good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to launch her. And I figured you'd all want to see the first launch off of the Martian surface. See you later, eXplorminator! Yeah, it is a milestone. Okay, so we need a sector that we need to scan. Well, looks like we found an anomaly. So why not get our anomaly for over here. That's always good. And now we're going to be doing our first major construction piece. But I think that's what we're going to do. So let's go and see what we can build for our first basic dome. It requires 80 concrete, which we've got lots of, 20 metal, which is good to go, 10 polymers, and it requires a consumption of 15 watts. Should be megawatts, you'd think, eh? 15 megawatts is a lot of energy. No, I think that's pretty good. Anyway, 15 energy, 1 oxygen, and 1 water. We have all these things. Shouldn't be an issue. But what we don't have a lot of is, if you look at our advanced resources, we only had 17 polymers. So we're going to show you off 2 different things at once. Now, you can see the blue reticule in and around our dome. For any type of mining purposes or anything that we're going to be plopping down there, those need to be within our area, because there are certain things that you require manpower to do. Certain farms require it, and certain mines require it, and certain factories require it. So we're going to be building all those there. So I think what we're going to do is build our... Yeah, that looks good enough for me. Yep. So our first dome is being built. Now you can see here that we're running pretty low on polymers, and we've got maintenance for polymers, electronics, and our machine parts for all maintenance. We only have a few of them. So let's not only let our drones... Oh, perfect. That's an excellent location. So you can see here our drones are starting the process of bringing over here. I think what we're probably going to do is these 2 units here are probably going to go the way of the dodo. I'm probably going to build them a little bit closer to our probably this location. Well, we'll see. Because you want it a little bit closer to begin with. Because I think our new landing pad's going to be over here. So... Ooh, a breakthrough. Dome's streamlining. What is that? Oh, domes cost 50% basic resources. We're already building it. That's fine. Yeah, because I got a couple things in the build. Anyways, for our next dome's going to be easier. So that being said, I think for right now, we're going to allow them to continue building this way. We should be good to go for a power outage. But what I want to show off is us getting resources from Earth itself. Now that's going to be a key to your survival here on Mars. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to this rocket ship. Now this shows us our resupply. We've got a total of three rockets in available to us. One is currently on its way back to Earth, having launched our first set of drones, and we've got two more. Obviously, we can't take any passengers right now because we don't have our dome set up, so we want a cargo rocket. The Andreas, number 1. So we have a cargo capacity of 70,000 kilograms, and our current budget funding is about $6.2 billion. We got a little bit more funding from certain milestones. Certain milestones will give you more funding from everything. So you can see here from the prefab indicators, so we can build these on Mars, but we don't have the tech for it yet. I don't think we're going to need any of these quite at our first one. Ooh, polymer factory would be nice. So would machine parts. I tend to like to make my first... I like to make my first dome sustainable, where I don't have to require too much on it. Machine parts are probably the one. So I'm going to take a prefab machine parts factory. The reason I'm going to want that is because a lot of our windmills require machine parts as maintenance. Besides that, I don't think I'm going to use any of these other ones as it stands right now. Maybe a polymer? Yeah, maybe polymer, machine factory, and electronics I'm going to wait. So you can see here that adds up to quite a bit of money, $700 million. We're going to go back. I don't think I'm going to take any metals now because I noticed that we do have a lot on the crust of the Earth or the Mars planet, so that's good. But for polymers, I'm going to take 25, probably say 50 machine parts, and 25 things. So you can see here this adds up to quite the amount of money. 440 million is our total launch. So we're going to launch that, and now we have a ship coming to provide us with everything that we're going to need. Now, I think I'm going to that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a storage facility, put a universal storage right here, probably a metal depot, put that right there, and then I'm going to deconstruct these ones. Actually, and then I think I'm going to do concrete as well. And so basically I'm going to get my probes to start deconstructing these so they'll move the minerals closer to my base, and that's just important because it's going to take way less time to have to deal with that later. And then when my rocket ship comes down, it's going to come right here, unload right to my dome. Good to go. Should have enough fuel. I think we got about, what, 7? Pff, that's nothing. 7 or 8. Let's see what we got for total here. Yeah, 15. Okay. So we're good to go. And what our initial contact will be, our initial point will be when it comes to building our thing is making sure that we have enough food on the go, water on the go, and then we'll start building apartments for our colonists. So it's the process of elimination. In the meantime, I think I'm going to build a couple more windmills for power. You always want to have enough power. You definitely don't want to be out of it. One thing I will tell you, though, it is quite easy, this game, to generate oxygen. It doesn't seem to be the hindrance that you would figure it would be. It's always power. Power is definitely a challenge. What else would be another challenge, I would say? And minerals. Any type of basic resources actually is a bit of a challenge. At least, at the very least, scrubbing oxygen. Well, what do we got here? Complete. Magnetic filtering. Okay, it looks like we've got oxygen production has been increased by 50%. Really good for our dome because it requires it. Water production has been increased by 50%. Wow, that's really good. Surface reheater, I don't think we're going to need that, but you never know. I think we're going to do good vibrations because we are going to have some colonists coming down, and the initial dome colonists, we're not going to have some of the amenities that you can build later on. So just to save their sanity, I'm going to do one of our breakthroughs. Let's see if I can't get this a little bit closer. What's going on? It's one thing that's you definitely want a flat surface. It does seem like if you come at a flat surface, it can be a bit of a hindrance. Okay. Because we're going to want to start retransporting all of these things. Speaking of transport, where's our... Oh, okay. Never mind. Going to get you to unload, please. So now it's just a process of building our dome. Looks like we've got 18 out of 80. So it's going to be taking our drones a little bit of a while to go. Machine parts are low. That's odd. It's a good thing I've got them on the go. So...
Sector scanned.
No, dome. So yeah, that's the cost and benefit part. So you can see here, I've built a lot of wind turbines, and they have, of course, everything except for their maintenance is going to be quite high at having an advanced resource, even though they go day and night. Okay, so it looks like our resources have shown up. Perfect. And I'm going to launch our rocket. So this is where all of our goodies are going to be coming from. And that's awesome. Here comes our first resource from Mars, the Andreas. And you didn't come with any probes. Lovely. Sometimes they come with probes. I think you have to actually buy them and put them into the actual...
Battery low.
Ooh, where's our vehicle battery? Okay, I'm going to get you to charge up, please. Should be good to go. And then, of course, you're taking our advanced resources, our polymers, electronics, and our machine parts. And we should have gotten some prefabs too, which means that we can get some factories on the go as well. So this is all setting up. All this has been done just for the very hope that we're going to be getting our colonists there pretty soon, which is just awesome. Although we haven't had any breakdowns, which is good. That's one thing I definitely do enjoy about this game, is that there's always seems to be some interesting decisions that you have to make. Even on, and this is easy. If you're gonna remember, I'm playing this Let's Play on an easy difficulty level. I have a game currently going right now on normal, and you have to be very creative on figuring out how to not only balance the difference between your resources and your available resources, and your infrastructure, and kind of balancing that. But there are times when you have to be creative on how to figure out how to get water or concrete or anything like that from point A to point B. And I'll leave that to you guys. I don't want to spoil anything, but I've had some really interesting situations where I've had to think outside the box a little bit, and there's tools in the game that give it to you. One of the best things I like about this game, one of the things I absolutely love about this game, is that the drones do not require any type of micromanagement. I don't know if you actually can. They just seem to understand exactly what they want. Oh no, you can. You can literally give them indicators. Oh, excuse me, we got additional $500 million from our sponsored funding. Always good to have. Looks like we got it back to about $5 billion. Excellent. But yeah, and not to knock on RimWorld at all, but for any reason at all. But there are times, of course, when you're trying to get their colonists to do one particular thing, and they don't seem to follow any type of logic. If you played that game at all when it comes to colony builders, it's probably the flagship. It's an amazing game. But I don't know how many times I've had a colonist walk right beside, grab a meal from the refrigerator that I made, walk right past the table, get halfway to where they're going to work for the day, eat the meal standing up, and then have a debuff for it. If that doesn't mean anything to you, it's probably because you haven't played RimWorld. But this means that some of the logic can be sometimes a little bit head-scratching and frustrating. And in this game, I haven't noticed that at all. It's literally been straightforward, damn good. Okay, resources. We've got, our metal situation seems to be decent enough. I can't complain. Just need to get my dome built. We've got quite a bit of concrete. We've got so much movement right now going on with transporting of materials. I think that maybe what I'll do is Maybe I'll build some more probes. Or I can't build them right now. I don't have the tech for them. But maybe what I'll do is the next transport, I'll bring some more probes down. Because it seems like there's going to be a lot of workload trying to build this bad boy up. Looks like everything should be good to go. I'm going to put him to highest priority. You could change the priority of what you're going to do. Moving material should be low priority. High priority. Let's get this dome built. On the double. Super bubble.
Sector scanned.
Ooh, an anomaly.
Select a sector to scan.
Detects anomalies. So I think you're good to go there, right? You know what? Where are you right now? Oh, you're way down. Oh, you're not actually not that far from it. Okay. Good to go. One you'll notice, one of the things that we've also got, oh, it looks like the waste hasn't been brought out. It must be the high priority. Building has depleted resources. It's funny that you say that because I was about to make a comment. So we've depleted the resources on this bad boy. So we have to deconstruct it. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but what we got is it's only been able to resource this amount. So as we kind of rebuild this, it'll be, you know, digging further into it. But as it stands right now, we don't need it. So there's no point in having it here. Like a dump site. Right here.
Anomaly analyzed.
Ooh, new text for research.
There's more to the barren environs of the Red Planet than meets the eye. A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder. So long as you know where to look.
Okay, it looks like we've got the following texts have been revealed. Let's see what we got. Life on Mars. More applicants appear on Earth. That's good. And drone swarm. Drobe hubs are constructed with 2 additional drones with a maximum number of increased to 80. Yeah, you can get a lot of drones working for you at any particular time. The only problem is I don't find that I need that many drones, telling you the truth, of the games that I've played. I mean, 80 seems excessive. I think I've had one that had 12. And, you know, because they do construct things so quickly, there's no real point to having that many required. This seems a little off to me. I don't think we have a concrete problem anyway, so all we got is a little bit of a drone problem. Let's get going. Because I got 4. Is my drones working here? Oh yeah, I should be good to go. So I think I should only have 8. So water seems to be going good. I guess there's no reason why. Well, we should probably focus on getting this dome built. I really do want to get this dome built. It looks like we've still got fuel. Power-wise, we should be good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we're all building. Okay, you're full, so we'll get you to knock out. You can actually use these later on, because what you're going to notice is as you start to build more domes, there's lots of different options you're going to have to kind of supply one dome that's going to be high in one particular resource versus another. I won't get into them. Hopefully we'll get to them to this Let's Play, but if not, there's lots of really cool things, including this RC transport. This RC transport is actually available for that to happen. Let's see what we got here. I don't want to rebuild this. I want to focus on transporting all this material out of here because we've got so much stuff on the go. Come on, dronesy drones, let's get this going here. I want to build my first dome. And then once we build our dome, we can take a look at some of the awesome features that we can do on it, including apartment buildings. We're going to have to build some farms. In fact, we can actually probably look at it right now. So living quarters is pretty straightforward. Residential space, it requires maintenance of some concrete and some power, of course. We could build a lab. I do not recommend that you build a lab right off the bat. The reason is because of the cost, of course, in electronics, which you're not going to have a lot of. It requires maintenance. It is really good to have a lot of beakers per turn, because that'll increase you know, that is generally unlocking tech is going to be good for you later on, but from your first dorm, it doesn't seem like it. The nursery is good, although I don't recommend it for your first dome either. You don't necessarily want children being born on your first one. You're going to want a lot of very specialized people, probably someone that can mine or botanist that can grow food. Building not working. What do you got? Oh, we got a maintenance problem. That's okay. One of our guys will get onto that. So what other we could build for our domes? Let's see. First thing I like to do is, of course, build a location for them to, you know, live. So that'll be a living quarters. Then it'll be your first farm. I don't actually have my first farm. I got a hydroponic farm right now. It's not terrible at building a lot of food, but you're going to need it, of course, to get by. And you'll notice that your colonists are not, it's funny, they're not wayward explorers, let me put it that way. They're going to probably want, you know, things that provide certain services. If you look under the dropout bar here for the diner, oh, looks like we're getting built here. I'll explain the diner in a second, but they offer things like a place for them to be social, to eat, etc. So you're going to get the point of it. So our dome is slowly building. What do we got for fuel here? Fueling. Okay, here we go. It looks like our first our first dome is going to be online.
Milestone achieved. We have an oxygen shortage. We have a water
Okay,
shortage.
don't mind the
We have a
warnings.
power shortage.
Okay, so what we'll do is we got it built. So let's give it some power. And the best part, of course, being with our pipe system, we can carry both what we need. So we can literally, we're going to come out here. I don't want to get too close to that. And there we go. I don't want to get too close to this because this is where we're going to build our mine for later. Just a little experience to know what you're going to be building up against. So there we go. We got our first dome. So without further ado, there seems to be no reason why we couldn't start loading this up. So we're going to build a living quarters. And you can see here it's kind of broken off into triangle situations. So you can rotate any of your buildings by using the middle mouse button. Took me a little while to remember that. And you can put that down. I'm not going to populate this entire thing right off the bat.
Active research. Research complete.
Okay, it looks like our good vibrations is good. Got some good vibrations. In case you were wondering, what I chose for my tech there, I can deconstruct it gives my probes the ability to deconstruct infrastructure, because right now it'll just sit there forever. There we go. Looks like our what are we doing here? Looks like we've got enough water. We are set. We are pretty close to being ready for our first colonists. What do we got? Fuel. We got enough to feed the rocket ship. Metal and concrete look like they're in good shape. I don't worry about concrete quite yet. So what I'll do... what's our oxygen supply? Let's see what this is a really cool resource overview. You can open and close this window by this button here for the colony overview, but it also does all the colonies. So it looks like our water surplus is that right? Is that exactly even? Hourly production. Oh, it's because that's it. It looks like we have an hourly production of 7, which is insane. Ugh. I hope one of you guys or girls are playing this game one day and you decide to put a colony down somewhere where you can't extract water directly from Mars's planet surface, because it's a pain. It's a pain. Okay, I'm going to build residential, of course. Now, how far? It doesn't look like I have my first indoor farm. Like I have something else. No, it doesn't look like it. Because these moisture vapors, I'm not going to get into it, but it's a pain in the bottom. Whoa, what was that? Oh, wow. Where were you on that one, Sensor? You thought you'd tell us where that asteroid came from. No matter. You're not a very high priority for me, so... Looks like everybody's just wanting to move materials. I want to build this, so please put this as high maintenance, or have so a hydroponics farm. Now you can see the hydroponics farm is smaller. It's still a triangle, but it's a smaller one. So you're able to fit 3 triangles into one. So I'm going to use that as build a hydroponics farm, of course. I'm going to build, no, I don't want to build a workshop, a grocer, so that people can shop. It's important for them. An infirmary, just in case people get sick. So all 3 of those are now being constructed. And I feel, again, I'm not a min-maxer. This game isn't officially out yet. But I kind of feel that this would be your basic starting setup of what you want to do. And so we're going to allow that to occur. So we are pretty much at the end of this episode. And this one here, you can see we built our first dome. It looks like for power consumption, we are in good shape. Our power demand's 30. We're building quite a bit otherwise. Minerals are being relocated. Got a couple extra techs. And I think the next episode, I'm going to fast forward it just a little bit. And you're going to see our first colonists arrive on Mars. Our first eXplorminators. What have we got for fuel here? Boy, we got a lot of fuel. Get it in there. Okay, it looks like there it is. Okay, so when you come back, you're going to see that we're going to have a pharmacy, infirmary, a hydroponics farm, a grocer, and here we go. And it's telling us right now, you are ready for our passengers. And that's what you're going to see in the next episode. So I'll see you then.